Imagine a battle so brutal, it would claim the lives of nearly 1,000 American servicemen in just 76 hours, a staggering 13 lives lost every single hour. Welcome to the Battle of Tarawa, a fight that would become one of the bloodiest in Marine Corps history. It's November 1943, and the world is at war. The Allies have been island-hopping across the Pacific, pushing back against the Japanese Empire's vast territorial gains. The Gilbert Islands, a chain of 16 coral atolls, are the next strategic prize. For the United States, securing these islands is crucial. They'll provide a vital airbase, allowing bombers to strike at the Japanese stronghold of the Marshall Islands. But the Japanese are determined to defend their territory, and they've chosen the tiny atoll of Tarawa as their stronghold. This coral reef-ringed island, just 2 miles long and 800 yards wide, is about to become a killing ground. The stage is set for a battle that will test the limits of human endurance, and the mettle of the United States Marine Corps. As the United States prepares to invade Tarawa, a daunting challenge lies ahead. The Japanese have transformed this tiny atoll into a formidable fortress, with a complex network of pillboxes, bunkers, and trenches. The coral reef surrounding the island, while providing a natural barrier against naval attacks, also poses a significant obstacle for the invading Marines. The shallow waters and narrow entrance to the lagoon will force the Americans to disembark from their landing craft and wade through chest-deep waters, making them easy targets for the Japanese defenders. Furthermore, the island's small size and lack of cover will leave the Marines exposed to withering machine gun fire and artillery barrages. The Japanese garrison, consisting of over 4,500 battle-hardened troops, is well entrenched and determined to fight to the last man. With the odds stacked against them, the 2nd Marine Division, comprising 18,000 troops, must find a way to overcome the defenses of Tarawa and secure the island, or risk suffering a catastrophic defeat that would jeopardize the entire Pacific campaign. As the 2nd Marine Division prepares to face the formidable defenses of Tarawa, a glimmer of hope emerges in the form of a carefully crafted battle plan, born out of the lessons learned from previous amphibious assaults. The Marine strategy revolves around a coordinated assault, with multiple waves of troops landing on the western shores of Bloodiest, the largest island in the Tarawa Atoll. The plan calls for a pre-landing bombardment by naval and aerial assets, aimed at weakening the Japanese defenses and creating breaches in the island's formidable walls. Additionally, a specialized unit, the 2nd Marine Division's combat engineers, will play a crucial role in clearing the coral reef and creating a safe passage for the landing craft. The Marines will also employ a new tactic, known as the bombardment curtain, where naval gunfire and aerial bombing will provide a rolling barrage, just ahead of the advancing troops, in an effort to suppress Japanese firepower and provide cover for the assaulting forces. With this plan in place, the Marines set their sights on breaching the defenses of Tarawa, but the success of the operation hangs in the balance, as the Japanese defenders prepare to unleash a maelstrom of steel and fire upon the invaders. As the Marines prepare to land on the shores of Bloodiest, it's essential to understand the complexity of the defenses they're about to face. The Japanese have spent months constructing a labyrinthine network of fortifications, including bunkers, pillboxes, and trenches, all carefully designed to funnel the attackers into kill zones. The island's coral reef, which surrounds the island like a jagged crown, poses a significant obstacle, as it must be navigated by the landing craft before they can reach the beach. The reef, combined with the narrow beaches and the maze of Japanese defenses, creates a gauntlet that the Marines will have to run in order to secure a foothold on the island. The Japanese garrison, consisting of over 4,500 troops, is well trained, well equipped, and determined to fight to the last man. They have been ordered to defend the island at all costs, and they're prepared to inflict maximum casualties on the invading forces. The Marines, on the other hand, will have to contend with a treacherous terrain, limited visibility, and the ever-present threat of Japanese snipers and machine gunners. The stage is set for a brutal and bloody battle, one that will test the mettle of the Marines and push them to their limits. One of the most harrowing examples of the Marines' ordeal was the experience of the 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines, who landed on Red Beach 3, right in the heart of the Japanese defenses. As they emerged from the landing craft, they were met with a hail of machine gun fire and artillery shells, which tore through their ranks like a scythe through wheat. The beach was a killing zone, with Japanese pillboxes and bunkers pouring fire into the Marines from all sides. Despite being pinned down by withering fire, the Marines managed to establish a fragile foothold on the beach, but at a terrible cost. Over 50% of the battalion's strength was lost in the first few hours of fighting. Another example of the desperation and bravery of the Marines was the story of the 1st Battalion, 6th Marines, who were tasked with securing the western end of the island. They faced a seemingly impenetrable wall of Japanese fortifications, including a massive concrete bunker that had been designed to withstand even the heaviest naval gunfire. Undaunted, the Marines launched a series of fierce assaults against the bunker, using flamethrowers and demolition charges to blast their way through the defenses. After hours of intense fighting, they finally managed to breach the bunker and pour inside, killing or capturing the Japanese defenders. These were just a few examples of the bravery and sacrifice that defined the Marine struggle for Tarawa. The Battle of Tarawa was a stark illustration of the devastating consequences of poor intelligence and inadequate planning. Despite having access to aerial reconnaissance and naval gunfire, the Marines were woefully unprepared for the sheer scale and complexity of the Japanese defenses. The failure to accurately assess the strength and disposition of the enemy forces meant that the Marines were forced to adapt on the fly, often with disastrous consequences. For example, the decision to land on the northern beaches, rather than the southern beaches as originally planned, proved to be a costly mistake. The northern beaches were exposed to withering fire from the Japanese fortifications, which were cleverly designed to enfilade the Marine positions. Furthermore, the lack of amphibious vehicles and the failure to clear the coral reefs before the landing meant that many Marines were forced to wade through chest-deep water, making them easy targets for the Japanese defenders. These mistakes would ultimately cost the Marines dearly, as they struggled to establish a foothold on the island. In the end, the Battle of Tarawa was a Pyrrhic victory, one that came at a staggering cost in lives and limbs. The Marines suffered over 3,000 casualties, including 990 killed in action, while the Japanese defenders were all but annihilated, with only 17 prisoners taken. The battle was a sobering reminder of the devastating consequences of war, and the importance of careful planning and preparation in the face of a determined enemy. As the Marines reflected on their experience, they realized that the battle had been a crucible, one that had tested their mettle and forced them to adapt and innovate in the face of overwhelming odds. The lessons learned on Tarawa would go on to shape the Marine Corps' approach to amphibious warfare, and inform the tactics and strategies employed in the battles that followed. The battle may have been a mere 76 hours long, but its impact would be felt for generations to come, a testament to the enduring spirit of the Marines who fought and died on that blood-soaked island. The Battle for Tarawa will forever be etched in the annals of history as a defining moment in the Pacific War, a grim reminder of the true cost of freedom.